This was shot in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and the thing that impresses me, if you'll notice the boughs of the pine tree in the lower left-hand corner, how sharp they are, and how sharp the star is way off on the distant hotel building. In this scene, there was a tremendous amount of sunlight flooding in from the left, and the left sleeve of the glass blower here was really dark in shadow. This was a very dimly lit market area, and they had performers performing in a dimly lit situation. Again, I liked the crispness of the shot, very little noise. Thought it performed very well in the dim light. Here's the extreme. We have bright sunlight hitting the top of these skyscrapers in New York City, and the building opposite it obviously was in dark shadow. But this was able to bring out detail in all the buildings and hold it even though it was moving around. Radio City Music Hall. In this shot, I was just impressed with the accuracy of the colors, just as I remember them there that evening when I shot it in the rainy night. I want to give you a quick rundown on the Pentax Q10 camera. First thing you'll notice about the camera is it's got an f2.8 to f4.5 lens, which is great for dim light shooting. The 5 to 15 millimeter focal length gives you a nice wide 18 millimeter equivalent at the 5 setting. The 15 setting is roughly the equivalent of a 50 millimeter on a 35 millimeter camera. On the top, we've got our flash control. And as we slide that over, you'll notice the flash pops up. It really pops up nice and high, which prevents the red eye. Flash will fire in either the upper or lower position. You've got a setting here where you can preset 4 scene modes, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. You pick them, and then you can quickly switch from one to another. So if you want to do, maybe one might be portrait settings, one might be your landscape settings, one might be your night settings, and one might be your HDR settings. Program those. You can quickly flip to them without having to go through menus. On top, we're looking at the on-off button here, the playback button there, and then your rotating dial. The auto setting, obviously you don't set anything, you just take pictures. We've got the movie mode, program mode, shutter priority, aperture priority, manual, a blur control, and the scenes. And there are so many scene modes here, it's just unreal. We've got portrait, we've got landscape, macro, moving object, night scene portrait, sunsets, blue sky, night scene HDR, night snap, food, quick macro, pets, kids, forest, sun and snow, surf and snow, HDR, backlit silhouettes, candlelight, stage lighting, and a museum mode where you absolutely can't use flash without getting thrown out. There are other buttons on the back. Your exposure control. You can dial in up to 3 stops over or under exposed. Your ISO button. You can switch anywhere from 100 to 6400. We've got your little clock button here. Controls single frame shooting, continuous high speed shooting, or continuous low speed shooting. A timer, you can vary the time on it. Remote control or exposure bracketing. The white balance, let's get in a mode where we can use it. We have auto white balance, daylight, shade, cloudy, fluorescent, tungsten, flash, CTE, manual white balance. In the flash settings, there's just a slew of flash settings for slow speed sync, flash always on, red eye reduction, etc. And the menus are also very extensive. So anything you couldn't get to before, you'll probably find it right here. So won't go into all of them, but you can see this camera, as small as it is, they pack an awful lot of technology into it. Not only that, it shoots great pictures. It's the Pentax Q10. I think you ought to take a look at it.